So let's dive into this matchup with our CBS Sports La Liga correspondent, Guillem Balagué. Guillem, plain and simple, if Atlético Madrid does not advance today to the finals, what does that mean for them? What does that mean for Diego Simeone?
Simeone would say, why you focus on the negative? Let's talk about the goals that are going to be scored. Let's talk about the possibility of actually making it into the final. But you're absolutely right. That would be a massive story, wouldn't it? An Atlético Madrid that in a period of 2 weeks, they've been pushed away from the league, from the Champions League, and could be in the Cup as well. What does it mean in terms of what will happen after? Absolutely nothing. What does it mean in terms of the prestige of the Simeone? It will be a dent in his CV because, as we said only a couple of weeks ago, he's got the best squad in La Liga. He's got an 11 that is a winning 11. He's managed to score in 3 games against Barcelona, 8 goals against this Barcelona. They were the last team to beat Barcelona. But guess what? In those 3 games, they conceded 9 times against this Barcelona as well. So at the time when we expected Atlético Madrid to go to the next level, it just hasn't happened. Will Diego Simeone be sacked? I can guarantee you no, because you know what the club is asking Simeone to do every season? Finish top 3. Finish top 4 in a bad season. That's it. And of course, that guarantees finances, that makes sure that the squad can stay together, improve it even. And the second thing that they're asking him to do, take big decisions when you have to. Take big decisions. And one of them will be, okay, if Atlético Madrid haven't managed to get to the next level, is it partly down to Griezmann scoring 1 goal in the last 11 games, not being at this level? Be ready to go to the MLS, something like that. A decision will have to be made on that soon.
It's an interesting conundrum, Guillem, right? When you look at the manner in which Atlético Madrid has bowed out of certain competitions, they were so close. The margins are so fine. A double touch by Julián Álvarez to their detriment and a penalty kick shootout against Real Madrid. And I think the season, or at least the tone of Atlético Madrid, where it's like so close but no cigar every single time, is Cholo Simeone. Post-match, after that elimination to Real Madrid in the Champions League, they asked him, again, you lost. And he goes, yeah, kind of laughing, going, but we make them suffer. They say, oh, wow, we really made them suffer. Which is like, sure, I interpret it as, okay, but you lost again. And it's the same result again. So ultimately, it feels like it's such a disappointing season. And perhaps, Guillem, this Copa del Rey is like that one thing that you can salvage from a campaign where you expected a lot more from Atlético Madrid.
All you say is true, and I completely agree with you. What's interesting is the psychological effect of that Julián Álvarez penalty in the penalty shootout, the goal that was disallowed. Because they won 1 game in the last 5. They spoke about it in every press conference, apart from the press conference before this game against Barcelona, in which he was asked again, what's going on inside the camp, because it seems like the team has been shaken up by the situation. And he answered by saying, Barcelona. So he's trying to move it on. But I think he has admitted himself in the press conference that it's been a very, very hard moment for the team. And I guess if you want to be a coach here, you have to say that learn from it. From defeats, you learn more than from victories. You can go through it. And all that is true. But we expect Atlético Madrid to take the next step against a Real Madrid that are not at the greatest. And yes, Barcelona are doing well. But they should have been 9 points away from Barcelona in the league, for instance, with 9 games to go. A chance to turn all that around. And this narrative, we will not be talking like this ever again if they manage to beat Barcelona today.
Let's talk about Barcelona, a team whose results are matching their performances. They're unbeaten this year, 17 wins, 3 draws. I mean, what are people in Spain saying about how special this Barcelona team is?
Because you didn't expect this to happen. You even get Ancelotti saying they play fantastic football. And Simeone. Everybody's saying this is brave, this is brilliant, this is unexpected. And all that is based on Hansi Flick, because to be honest, the team is exactly the same, plus Olmo, that Xavi had. And I remember Xavi wanted to get rid of Lewandowski. He wanted to bring all the type of players to the ones that came. And generally, he felt that this team was not ready still to compete, that they were in a process. He repeated that so many times. Hansi Flick who is not affected by what happened in the past, who saw the quality of those youngsters, some of which Xavi gave them the debut, of course, and who has made Lewandowski better. I mean, his stats are fantastic, 38 goals this season. Ferran Torres comes on the bench and makes a difference, 15 goals, second best goal scorer of Barcelona. Lamine Yamal, I think, is 13 goals this season. You're talking about everybody, and Raphinha doing extraordinarily well as well. So you're talking about a team that's scored 139 goals in 45 games. And they're doing it in the most brave way. Defending still very high. Perhaps they adjusted that a little bit, certainly. But in any case, when they score one goal, they won two. When they score two, they won three. When they won one game, they won the other one. It's all about winning. And since Atlético Madrid beat them, it's been 20 games without a defeat, only 3 draws. The rest have been wins. And the last 9 have been wins as well. Absolutely wonderful to watch. In a mixture of the Barcelona DNA, they can keep the ball, of course, and Pedri is perhaps the best midfielder in the world right now, alongside a transition that is very powerful and benefits the likes of Lewandowski, certainly Lamine and Raphinha.
Guillem, from a macro perspective, let's bring it down to a micro perspective from this last week, because Barcelona has had to traverse a storm really with the death of their team, Dr. Carles Miñarro, before the international break. This Osasuna game out of nowhere got put on a Thursday after the international break. So it's been a lot of games in a short span. Now they have this midweek game of huge psychological and physical demand against Atlético Madrid before going into the weekend against Betis and then Champions League. So far, how do you think Barcelona, with a couple of injuries here or there and their rotation, how do you think they've been handling this week so far?
The fact that Ferran Torres comes on and scores, the fact that Gavi doesn't always start, that Fermin Lopez, when he comes on, makes a difference, the fact that Balde comes in and out of the side, but they all perform at a very good level, suggests to me that they've got the perfect culture there where everybody feels something special is being created and everybody is absolutely needed. I don't think Lewandowski will start today. I think it'll be Ferran Torres up front. And it's not a problem. He has been doing it in the Cup. Lewandowski knows that he's got to rest, but he will play Champions League or he will play important games in the league. He's playing most of games anyway. And Ferran Torres has been asked about this situation, just to put you an example. And he said, I don't feel I'm a very good substitute. I'm part of this team. And when I'm needed, I'll be there in whatever capacity I am needed. I don't think you will hear those words last season because there was a lack of trust in the leadership, but everybody loves Hansi Flick. And he's doing things that maintains this competitiveness and everybody happy, which is not easy.
Guillem, given everything that we've talked about today on these two sides, I'm putting you on the spot real quick. Who do you think is going to advance today to the final to take on Real Madrid?
I'll tell you one thing that will happen. They'll score a lot of goals. It's been 8-9 at the moment between Atlético Madrid and Barcelona this season in 3 games. But I feel that Barcelona, twice in the last couple of games, have made such a big difference when they got it all together, scoring 4 goals in a trot in both games to get the game away from Atlético Madrid, or at least not to lose it. So Atlético Madrid in the first leg, they went 2-0 up, didn't they? And Simeone was saying, oh my God, what's going on here? These are his words. And then he went 4-2 to Barcelona. And then Simeone went like, yeah, that was supposed to happen. And then Atlético Madrid scored a couple of goals with Sorloth, who scored 6-6 against Barcelona, making a difference. And it was all left for the second leg. But I just feel that Barcelona have got something extra and the hunger to win absolutely everything. They have also the capacity, the players, the coach, the timing, the momentum, the goals, the defense. They're favourites in my eyes.